Hello everyone and welcome back. Today I will talk about the new Fuji 200 and Fuji 400 color negative film stock released a few months ago. It's always exciting to hear new film stock coming to the market. However, when it comes to this new Fuji 200 and Fuji 400, we quickly started to hear rumors that they may not be all that new, but instead rebranded Kodak film. Nothing official was ever confirmed, but clues were found there and there, from the Made in USA on the package of the Fuji to similar spectral sensitivity curves on the datasheet, and it all pointed towards this new film stock really being Kodak Gold 200 and Ultramax 400 in a green box branded Fuji. And to see if this new roll of Fujifilm 400 is actually just a respool Kodak Ultramax 400, I have here a roll of the actual Ultramax. And what I'm going to do is load both of this roll into two similar cameras, two Nikon F3 with similar lenses, and I'll shoot the same scene and we'll see what are the differences, what are the similarities between these two. More importantly, it's also to give you an idea of what that new Fujifilm 400 is able to do and how it's stacked compared to the generic Ultramax 400, and give you an idea of which one you like the best, if you want to pick up a Fujifilm or if you rather stick with the generic Kodak Ultramax. Now, obviously, this is far from a scientific test, as at the end of the day, we are left with how Negative Lab Pro decided to interpret these images, but this should still give us an idea of how both film renders colors and tonality, and overall the results you would get if you were processing this film in your lab and asking for standard scans. I started my journey in East Sook Regional Park in the southwestern coast of Vancouver Island, as I knew this place would offer good sceneries with bold colors from the coast and the woods. I always had a special relationship with Fujifilm. The first film I ever shot 10 years ago was Fujifilm Superior 200, and I always enjoyed the result I got from it. And since the new Fuji 200 and 400 are set to replace the Superior 200 and Extra 400, I was quite excited by these new emulsions to see what they would bring to the table. Now, I should also mention that these new film stocks are for the North American market, and I don't know if they'll be available elsewhere in the world. All I know is that Superior and Extra are still available in Europe, for example. Despite the rumors, I was still expecting from Fuji 400 to bear similar results with maybe better dynamic range and more grain than the Superior 200. Upon converting both rolls, I got quite unexpected results. Somehow the roll of Fuji 400 looked like a Kodak stock with warm tones, while the Ultramax 400 produced much neutral colors and cooler tones overall. I should also note that for most images I use a polarizer to cut the reflection on the water and also bring bolder colors, which could also influence how warm this image were rendered. I still found that Fuji 400 rendered blue closer to cyan, as most Fuji film stock do, whereas Ultramax was more neutral. After that, I left East Sook and continued north along the coast. Although the day started with a clear sky, I soon met up with a tongue of thick fog rolling over the town, which foreshadowed the foggy conditions I would meet later that day. Somehow, it seems that the Ultramax has also a better dynamic range than Fuji 400, especially in the shadows. Both rolls were metered at 200 ISO, and I made sure the exposure was the same on both cameras, and yet the shadows on the Fuji images appeared muddier and warmer. There is so much to shoot along that coast, but I decided to save up the rolls until I reached Port Renfrew, as I'd never been there before. After that, I drove to Botanical Bay, which is beautiful at low tide, but I had forgotten to check the tide schedule, and I got there late in the day at high tides. Nonetheless, I was still able to experience amazing light, especially the foggy sunset, which made for quite contrasty scenes. Overall, I got such different results from both rolls that it's hard to believe that this new Fuji 400 is simply rebranded Kodak Ultramax 400. And although they might get manufactured by Kodak, I think they most likely follow a recipe provided by Fujifilm, but I could be all wrong here. And more than the comparison between both film stocks, the idea behind this shoot was also to try out the new Fuji 400, as they will most likely replace the Superior and Extra, which is a good third of the film stock I used. I also have a comparison between Fuji 200 and Kodak Gold 200 that I'll share soon. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss it. Overall, I'm quite divided when it comes to this new Fuji 400, and I will have to shoot more of it to get a definitive answer. What's funny though is that I entered this test shot slightly biased towards getting better results from the Fuji F400 stock, as I was never a fan of Ultramax. However, looking at the result I got from Ultramax, this may as well help me make peace with that film stock. So what do you think about the new Fuji 400? Do you think it is still just rebranded Kodak Ultramax? Will you try some? And if you already did, what did you think of it? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, I'll see you next time.